So it looks like Jimmy Garoppolo has a pretty good matchup this week.
I think
He may
so.
not have his run game, which is tough. We've gone over the numbers about how he's pretty reliant on that. But this week, he's going against a defense that has a great pass rusher who's going to be going up against Trent Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they get diced up over the middle, in particular in coverage. What do you know about the Cincinnati defense?
Their corners are vulnerable. Jesse Bates is great, but you can beat them passing the ball. I mean, I'm not going to compare him to Justin Herbert, any of these other guys, anything like that, but they've been getting diced up, in the passing game. And this is going to have to be a game where here's why I believe Garoppolo is going to play well in this game. Because everybody's so down on him now after that Seattle game, right? Oh my God, he played terribly. This just feels like one of those games where he's going to do enough, where he's going to make some throws in this game, where it's going to just, the people that support him, they're about to rise up and go crazy. Like, oh, I see you overreacted last week. Look at this. It's always that the one thing that's consistent is the inconsistencies. So play bad last week, and then against all odds, watch this be the week that he has a very good game. I would be shocked if Jimmy Garoppolo went out there and threw up a stinker. I really would. And if he did, then we really have to start looking at, hey, man, do you start to make this switch at this point, right? Like he threw 2 last week. If he throws 2 more and they don't move the ball and they don't score, like there's a world where Jimmy Garoppolo loses this game, but you still don't ask the question about whether it should be a switch to Trey Lance. Like the Arizona game. Like the Arizona game, right? They lost the Arizona game, but Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't the reason they lost that game. I mean, they fumbled the ball a bunch of times. They couldn't stop Arizona on defense ever, right? Not the reason. But if he's the reason they lose, then maybe the chatter grows louder. But there is a world where he loses this game and still you really can't make the argument to go to Trey. Like it's just a straight. The 49ers are in a limbo and in this weird place of their own making. Because 12 games in, they would have not expected 6-6. And I think that if they were 6-6 with Trey Lance, you would be looking at 6-6 completely different. Completely different. Because you would say he's developing.
I found an interesting stat online. This is from Aaron Schatz of Football Outsiders. He said the Cincinnati Bengals ranked 29th in defensive DVOA on passes over the middle of the field. Mm-hmm. So that's great news for Jimmy Garoppolo. It's where he wants to go. Right. Here's the thing, though. Kyle better not have a pass-first game plan. You may have a good matchup there, but the thing with Jimmy and this offense in general is the more they pass, the worse it gets. So you can do a lot of damage on limited passes, but they still have to find a way to get to 30, 35, 40 runs. You can do huge damage on those passes, but if it's like 2 passes for every 1 run, they're going to lose. They will find a way to lose as their pattern.
You want to make a bet?
What?
First play of the game is a pass.
I don't care what the first play of the game is. I just mind that they don't pass 5 times. Like the Arizona game plan was 5 passes for every 1 run. If they do that against Cincinnati, they will definitely lose. Definitely. That's how I feel. So just don't do that. Be balanced.
Okay.
Be balanced.
Okay. I think this is going to be a big Garoppolo game, man. I think that he's going to show he's going to
still exist.
I mean, what I mean for him is like 260, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions,
no picks,
and no picks.
Great. That'd be great.
I mean, if he does that, they win.
Bengals are near last in the league in receptions in the middle of the field. Jimmy Garoppolo's strength. Cincinnati's banged up. Kyle owns his proteges, 38-17. Okay. Well, here let's talk about
Joe Burrow's banged up too. And then another thing that I wanted to put out there with the 49ers, I don't know if they will do this, but the trends have shown this. The first few weeks, nobody was playing zone against Cincinnati. I believe the stats were like week 1 through 7, right? And Jamar Chase was going crazy because he was in man and he was just running by guys and the offense was clicking. Now, largely, they've seen a 60% change in zone. And if the 49ers stick to that, seems like Joe Burrow's got an issue with that. And also the thumb's banged up. I don't know if you watched the game last week. He was handing the ball off left-handed after he banged up the thumb. And, I'm sure he's going to play in this game. But there is that stat out there right now that after week 7, teams largely have gone to a zone coverage scheme, and Joe Burrow has struggled. He's thrown a lot of picks. He's thrown a lot of picks this year. But, again, you let it go because there's those other plays that he has, and he's young. But I think that the 49ers play a lot of men. They got to get to what their strengths are. Like, it can't just be rigid and week to week. Hey, we run man. We're just a man team. If you see an advantage and you can play zone, do it. As long as you can have guys that are going to be in the right spots at the right time. I'm looking at you, Josh Norman. You should be fine. I think that they have a good chance in this game.